everybody, this is Pretty from It's a Pretty World. Welcome to my channel. Recently I saw a video by Jennifer McGuire where she showed to use stencils to do some glittered background. So I decided to do the same thing. But the difference is that I do not have many glitter powders in many shade, so I came up with something different. So the video that I'm going to show you is how to color your glitter if you don't have all the glitters in your collection, because that particular technique that she showed was just beautiful. It was so brilliant. It was so the end result is so glittery and shiny, and I thought I should do that too. So here we go. I did exactly the same steps what she did, and I will link her video in my video right here, and you can go to her video and check it out how she did it, because she does an excellent job teaching versus I do. Anyway, so all I did is I just put some double-sided adhesive onto my cardstock and laid my stencil over it. Now the stencil is from Rubbernecker called Bold Rose Stencil, and it's a beautiful stencil to do this particular kind of work. The one thing you need to keep in mind is to choose a very fine glitter. So the glitter that I'm using is called the Prisma glitter, and it's called a unicorn dust. So it's almost white, but it has so much shine to it. But the biggest thing is that it's a very smooth glitter. It's not a chunky glitter, and that's something you want to keep in mind for the technique that we're going to do today. And then once I had applied that layer of the color, then it's time to remove the stencil that's on top of it. And it's so easy for the stencil to come off on this glue. It doesn't really stick hard at all. Then I took this gold glitter. So these are the only glitters I have in my collection. So this gold glitter is called the Distress glitter, and it's from Ranger, and it's not smooth. It's a little chunkier than a finer glitter. So I just applied this glitter all over it, and you can see wherever there's white, it does not adhere because the other glitter was adhered on that surface. So now you have a two-toned surface. Obviously you can stop here and it looks beautiful. That little glue mark was just bothering me, so all I did is I took some alcohol wipe and just wiped it off, and it just came off, and I just kept it there to show you how easy it is for it to remove a gunk glue with alcohol wipes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm taking that piece again and putting it between two paper, and then rubbing it with my bone folder, and also I ran it in my embossing in my die cutting machine, and that just pressed the entire glitter down, and it was smooth. So this is what we're going to do today, is color this glitter. So I'm taking some Arteza markers here in the shade of dark pink and a light pink, and I'm just laying the dark shadow the way you would do a regular, and I'm going to color it right on top of this flower. The few things that you need to keep in mind: one, because this is a glittery surface, I think the ink bleeds. I don't know why, but the ink was bleeding, so try not to go to the very edge of your gold glitter or whatever glitter you use, but give it a little tiny gap so that there is room for that ink to bleed. And also I kept like a little paper there where I just constantly kept rubbing the tip so that if there was any glitter collecting, I could remove it just by rubbing it on that scrap paper that I have on the side. So I just continued doing that with Arteza, but I want to show you that you can do this even with like a cheap old marker. This is just a Crayola marker, and I did the same thing, laid the darker shade down and the lighter shade on, just blended it out with the lighter shade. I didn't want to use my Copic mainly because I didn't know if it would spoil my nib because of the glitter, and I didn't want to take the risk. It's quite an expensive marker. So, but when I did it with these pens, I was pretty excited that, oh wow, I could use them, and they were blending beautifully. And I think they were blending, the reason they were blending is the glitter kept the colors on top of the surface, so it couldn't absorb into the paper. You can see that. See how when I touched the glitter, the ink just came into my finger, and that's what happened. So it was easy for the colors to blend. So I went ahead and colored all the flowers just like that, the way I talked about, and then it was time to color the leaves. For the leaves, I also wanted to show you two other another marker that I could use. This one is a Memento marker, and did the same thing. Now you can also add a few details, like there I'm using the vine, and I'm drawing in a little vine in between the, not vine, sorry, vein in between the leaf, and you can see how beautifully that blended out. And the color I used is yellow and green, and you can see how that yellow picked the darker green, and it blended those colors so beautifully. And I was just loving the way this piece was turning out, because it was so easy for the colors to move, just because the top of the surface of the glitter was wet. The ink was not absorbing, so the inks were easily blending. Even the Crayola marker, which does not blend on paper, in this case here, it was blending beautifully. Then I changed again to Artisan markers. So I actually colored the leaves using both the markers, and you can see the difference there between the colors. And I colored the entire leaf using those 4 pens. And once I was done coloring this entire panel, you can see the glitter. I took this rectangle die from Rubbernecker and I die cut this piece down a bit, and then I took a 5x7 note card, side folding note card, and I wanted to pop that up on that. But before that, what I did is I already went ahead and gold embossed sending love onto this vellum, which I'm going to put across. So I didn't want to tuck the vellum anywhere. I want to keep that vellum straight across from the white end to the other white end. And then I added some foam adhesive to the back of that glittered paper and adhered it onto the white note card, and you can see it. I can't tell you how beautiful this looks. I'll show you a little bit of a close-up later on how this shines. And then I just adhered this sending love using liquid glue, and it was just a very easy thing because the glue wasn't visible at all. It kind of was a very clear glue, so I could just use liquid glue and adhere it. And then I added some gemstones, and this is from Pretty Pink Posh, not Pretty Pink Posh, actually it's from Pink Fresh Studios, and it's in pink color, lighter pink color, and I just spread it out. And here you can see how it's glistening and glittery. It was just beautiful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll give this a go, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.